What's up guys, it's Mike here from Mike's Cards and Stickers, and today we're going to be opening up a massive 50 packs of the Panini 2022 sticker collection. So these have been out since the turn of the new year, and just like last year's collection, they are really great. The album's great, the stickers are great, and whilst they are a little bit overpriced in my personal opinion, I still think they're really good, and I've still got 50 packs sat here in front, so I've obviously still decided to buy them, so the price can't be too bad. So they're stacked over like that purely for the thumbnail that I've just done, so I'm going to pull these packs back up like this, and I didn't actually buy these from the shop. I got these off of eBay, so I got a huge bundle of these in a big box, which was worked out about 50p a packet, which is cheaper than what you would be able to get them for in the shops, or buying them in multi-packs or tins. So we've got 50 packs here. I'm going to put those to one side, and let's have a quick look. So there's a couple of different designs. You'll notice, if you've picked some of them up in the shops already, of players on the front. They're in this nice silver packaging, simple paper style packaging as well, which is standard now for all sticker collections really, which also means you have to be ever so careful when you open them, because if you tear too enthusiastically, because there's only 5 stickers in here, you will just go straight through them. So enough of me nattering on about how to open up a paper packet. Let's have a look at what we've got. And this year's collection has got some great stickers in. The player profiles are really good. They're full of facts down below at the bottom. Instagram tags, their height, their date of birth, the country they play for. The star is if they've played for their national team. We've got homegrown as well, if they played for a certain amount of time in England. Position, the foot they're dominant with, the shirt number, etc. It's really jam-packed. And then when you get into the binder itself, crikey me, the amount of statistics that are in there. I mean, that's like a sports almanac in itself, really. But how many of you guys have already finished your binder? I mean, these have only been out 2 months now, and I imagine there's quite a few of you that have actually managed to finish them. And we've got some digital packs as well. So, congratulations to the first person that watches this and is also doing the My Panini digital edition. I've got visions in about 10 minutes time. We're going to be littered with packs, empty packs in the background. Apologies if you just heard that. You might have done, you might not have done. That was my mobile phone going off on the other side of the room. I sometimes forget how sensitive the mic is, and I don't mean myself. That was a very poor joke. So it seems, I think Panini now have had the license for the Premier League since 2020, because they did the Panini 2020 football, which was the stickers for that year. Obviously that was the year that the world tripped up and face planted the curb, so everything went to pot really. It was a bit of a bizarre year for football. And I can always remember the return to games playing behind closed doors, and they had the artificial crowd noise in at the stadiums. And at the time, I was lucky enough, actually, whilst all of this was going on, to be out in Belgium. I was out in Belgium for a couple of weeks, through one thing or another. I was doing a bit of work out there. I don't really think you can class it as a holiday, because I was still doing things, but I can remember paying for Now TV, and Now TV Sky Sports Pass, to watch the football, and I also had to get a VPN as well, because my computer, well, Sky shall I say, sensed that I was in a country outside of the UK, and denied me access to my Sky Go on the computer. So I went onto a VPN and set all that up, and was then able to watch it. And I paid $9.99 for the Sky Sports Pass, and both of the games were absolute drivel, and both of them were 0-0. And I said to my mate who I was out there with, who was also working at the time, we might not bother with that next week. Well, I tell you what, you would never really think of Belgium as a place to go on holiday, but my word, what a lovely country it is. Lovely country and lovely people as well. The amount of times that we would walk down to little bars and stuff out there, because the Belgians do some great beers. Strong beers, bear in mind, but some great beers. Oh, a legend, David Beckham. And we used to get rather off our rocker and then stagger back to the apartment in a rather sorry state. But we spoke to some amazing people. So many Belgians and a couple of people of other nationalities would come up to us and be like, "Oh, you guys from the UK?" They'd say, or from Britain, and we'd be like, "Yeah," and we'd get talking, and immediately the conversations would revert straight to football, and they'd say, "Oh, what team?" And I'd say Nottingham Forest, and my friend would go Derby County. And they'd go, "Oh, yes, European Cup, yes," and then they'd say, "Oh, I support Genk or whatever," or I think that's how you pronounce it, I believe, and stuff like that. And it was really, really great. And it was sunshine as well at the time. It was the smack bang in the middle of summer. And yeah, and it's so flat as well. It's like the Netherlands. It's so flat. You can literally just cycle everywhere. And the houses are so nice, so nice. They're all, so many of them are new, and they're all no houses are alike. Some of them are like worldy cottages. Some of them are nice, modern, big houses. But the prices of the properties as well out there are not cheap. That's for sure. But yeah, and it got onto football, and then we went to Brussels for the day, and we saw what's the team that plays in Brussels? Oh, it'll come to me in a moment. It's bugging me now. I can't remember what it's called. Oh, if somebody knows, drop it down below in the comments. And yes, went to the EU headquarters, etc. And they had all the Belgian memorabilia, Kevin De Bruyne shirts and that, which was cool to see. And then whilst we was there, we was only about a 2-hour drive from Germany. So we said, right, let's go and have a weekend in Germany somewhere. And we went to Dusseldorf. And my God, what a brilliant weekend that was. They call it one of the longest bars in the world because you just stand on the street and as far as you can see in both directions is bars and outdoor restaurants all the way. And once again, we met some amazing people. The Germans get a bad rep because of the things that have happened and that, but I tell you, it'd definitely be a place that I would go and live. They're so friendly, they're so welcoming, they're always happy to chat with you. They always want to know where you're from and that. It's so good. And it was funny actually because we arrived in Dusseldorf. We were staying at a hotel. We parked at the hotel and walked down to the main strip. And we went straight to an Irish bar. We were sat there with a pint of Guinness, and the bloke who owned the bar was actually Irish, and he was talking to us for a bit. And then he came back out later on and said, "Oh, do you mind if my two friends sit with you at this table? We're really packed at the moment because Dusseldorf was actually about to play, I believe it was Borussia Dortmund in the Bundesliga, and Dusseldorf were in a relegation scrap. So all the, what would you call them, Dusseldorfians were out in force on in the streets, in the bars, ready to watch the football. And we were like, yeah, of course, no problem. So these two really big German blokes sat down. They were very friendly and everything, and they said hello to us and asked us where we were from, and we had a quick chat and that, and they sat there and they had a ciggy and a beer, and then about half an hour later they went off and on their way, and we didn't really think anything of it. And then the bar owner came back out to us, and he said, sorry about that, guys. And we were like, no, why do you need to say sorry? It's not a problem. We had a quick chat with them, and he said, oh, did you not see who they were? And we were like, no. And he said, did you not see the handguns that were in the side of their belt? Oh, the trophy card, excellent trophy sticker even, very nice design, looks like a barcode. And he said, did you not see the handgun in each of their holsters that around the belt? And we were like, no, they were dressed as civilians. And he said, oh, well, he said they are plain-clothed German police. He said that they're anticipating trouble today because it's a big game, and what with the relegation scrap, and they're anticipating it kicking off, and what with it being a very booze-heavy area. And he said they'll have probably heard you guys talking in an English accent, and thought, oh, we'll go and just see what those two are up to, see if we can hear what they might be planning or if they're going to cause any trouble. And we were like, oh God, bloody hell! And he said, you obviously weren't a threat because they only stayed for one drink and then they've gone. So, and I said, we just treated them like as if anybody else had sat down. We had a quick chat with them, and that was that. And we just didn't even notice. Like I said, they were plain clothed. But my God, I mean, them sat there drinking a beer, and they got a flipping firearm. What on earth are we doing? But yeah, that was a little bit scary. We sort of perked up a little bit then, in terms of our alertness. But then fast forward to the end of the night, Dusseldorf actually lost the football game. We did watch it in the pub. And we were staggering back to the hotel, which was only about a 5-minute walk away. And we were like, we need some food. We definitely need some food. So we immediately, being British, we just looked for a takeaway. Obviously, it was quite hard to find a kebab house, but there was this little window in the side of this building that was serving chips with this like cheesy spice-infused sauce on it. My goodness, they were amazing, these chips were. They were only about €2 each. And whilst we stood there waiting, I mean, we'd had about 12 pints of Guinness at this point. We stood there swaying at the bar, and there's this this poor German lad, bless him, looked about the same age as me, about 25, leant up against the bar, slumped over as if he was a bit worse for wear, and he reared his head up, and he looked at us, and he said something in German, and we both said, "Sorry, mate, we don't speak German." And he paused for a moment, and turned to us, and I won't say the profanity that he says, but he just went, "It looks like you guys have had a really good night like I had then," and with a few swear words mixed in, and then he let out a big laugh, and we laughed as well, and we stood talking to him for a few minutes whilst we waited for our chips. And that's the amazing thing, is that no matter where you go, you hear people talking in German, and as soon as they hear like English, they're like magnetised to it. They come over and they begin to talk to you. I think it's something to do with them wanting to practice their English with an actual English person, because they're all fluent in it. It's amazing. But Germany is definitely a country I would recommend visiting. I really want to go to Berlin soon as well. I'm so big on my World War II history. I really want to see like the Brandenburg Gate and where the Reichstag is, and all those other places, maybe other historical places as well, because like I say, I'm so massively into all of that stuff. Right, I'm just going to move this pile over because it's getting a little bit big to manage. But yes, that's a bit of a story time for you of my escapades across Europe. I still can't think of the name of that Belgian football team. I can remember driving past the stadium as well. But yes, we went to Antwerp whilst we was there. But here's the thing: I've never seen a Premier League game live in this country, mainly because Nottingham Forest have not been in the Premier League for a considerable amount of time now. But I have been to a La Liga game. I used to actually live in the south of Spain for a period, which was one of the many chapters in this rather bizarre life that I have. And once I was there, I got like a part of a club that would organise a coach and everything, and all the local people would go off down to watch the football. And I was involved with the Scandinavian community because the girl that I was with at the time, her stepfather was Swedish, and they ran a Swedish restaurant on the south coast. And so I got involved. I was on the Sweden darts team. Played in the panel games as well, which is a sport out there, and I also would go and watch the football when it was on. And the game that I went to see, I used to go depending on if I was working or not, because I was doing web design whilst I was out there for some people, and I was also doing restaurant and bar work as well, cooking and serving drinks and that, and I was also doing cleaning as well out there, apartment cleaning. It was all very interesting, amazing fun and that. And I went to see Villarreal against Malaga at Malaga's ground. And Malaga were doing really badly in the table. They were second from bottom, but in that game they won. They got a penalty in about the 80th minute, and it was great. And that, I think the tickets for that were about €20. And then about 2 or 3 weeks later, her stepdad comes to me and he says, "Do you want to go and watch Real Madrid when they come down?" And I was like, "Hell yes," because that was at the time when I think was it just before Ronaldo left, and I was like, "I definitely want to go and see that." So he said, "Okay, I'll check how much the tickets are," and the tickets to sit in exactly the same place as where we sat to watch Villarreal, which was €20, were €195. To which I politely declined and watched it back at home in the bar. Actually, I think I was on the bar that day and watched it on the telly. Because it was her stepdad and her mum that ran the bar restaurant, so I was just sort of pottering around, and I'd do maintenance, fixing things. I can remember installing CCTV cameras for them and stuff like that, and it was ever so interesting. It was just it's one of those things I'd definitely say you've got to go and experience living and experiencing different cultures. But wow, this video has really turned into a flipping me explaining my life story. I'm trying as best as I can to infuse it with football, to try and keep it somewhat relevant to the pack opening. I can imagine if you don't really like me chatting utter nonsense, just mute it. Just mute the video and just watch me opening packs. But I think it's nice to have a bit of dialogue in the background for people to listen to whilst they're watching. But yes, Nottingham Forest on... Well, I say they're not doing good at the moment. They've not done good over the past couple of years. They've missed out by ridiculous things. But now, under Steve Cooper, they seem to have really turned a corner. I really hope that he sticks around for a bit, because Forest are notorious for just dispatching with managers at the first opportunity. But, I mean, they're still in the Cup. I mean, they've beat Arsenal and then they beat Leicester. So that was mental. A couple of the lads that I work with, one of the other designers, he's got a Forest ticket, and then one of the other lads have, so I always hear firsthand what it's like in the group chat, etc. I don't actually have a season ticket for Forest. I've got a season ticket for Wasps, for the rugby, which is down at Coventry, with one of my mates and a couple of with his dad and his dad's friends, and we go and watch that instead, which is sometimes a little bit more civilised than a football game, when we go to the casino beforehand and we have food and that, and it's a nice Saturday afternoon jolly. But yes, I'm trying to actually remember the last time I went to a football match. I always try to watch it when I can, when it's on the television, but I mean, Sky Sports nowadays is just so expensive, and then when the big game comes along, it's on the bloody streaming or channel that you haven't got, which is very, very infuriating. But there you go. And that's the thing nowadays, TV is just not cheap. Gone are the days when you could watch the Champions League on ITV. Now it's just behind so many paywalls, and then you wonder why so few people are really that interested in it, because they can't watch it. And what with the financial situation the world's in at the moment, things like that are disposable income for people, and it's costs that they're having to rein in on. But I suppose in some respects it's good, because if everybody cancels their Sky Sports but still want to watch football, it means they will more likely to go down to their local pub and watch it, which will support the pubs, because the pubs and hospitality industry has been absolutely destroyed during these last 2 years. It's just so good, finally, touch wood, to see that it looks like we're coming out of it. But I'm doing these massive batches of filming now at the moment. I've had 2 nights this week where I've spent a good couple of hours just filming videos, because in about a week's time I'm off to Portugal, a holiday that has been pushed back 3 times courtesy of Corona. But there you go, courtesy of the virus. But yes, it looks like we're finally going, and it seems that Portugal are pretty similar to us here, but we're in a villa anyway, so we don't have to wear masks as we're sat by our pool and everything. It can be on our own terms, sort of thing, which is nice. But I don't really think there's going to be much football on out there. We said we might go to, I think it's Lisbon, is the town that's close to the south coast, which is not too far. We've got a high car, so we might go over there, and maybe even go to the ground. I'm not sure. But the last time I was in Portugal, when I was in the airport, I had some spare euros, and I bought a Real Madrid baseball cap rather than a Portugal one, because I preferred the design of the Real Madrid one. But that is my logic right there. So I'm definitely going to have hand cramp tomorrow at work from opening these. People are probably going to assume it's from something else, but I can guarantee it's not. It's from something that's even sadder. But these, I've got a feeling that these are going to take ages to sort through and then stick into the binder. How do you guys sort it if you buy a pack of 20? Do you just go through each one individually and stick them in and flick to the page, or do you categorise them by number or by team? I do it by team. So I just see the badge logo and then stick it in a pile, and then go alphabetically and put them all in order, and then go through the book so I don't have to keep turning the pages. But I suppose there's lots of different ways you can do it. And I was right as well, look at the mess we've made behind. Only a couple more now to go of the 50. And of course this year, at the end of the year, is the World Cup. So that's going to be interesting to see which company gets the license, etc. I imagine it's probably going to be Panini. But then again, I could very well be wrong, because it's been a couple of years since the World Cup. But I wonder how well England will do this time. I mean, they had a pretty of an easy run, really, this time around at the Euros. Whilst it was great to get to the final, they should have won it. But there you go. So, guys, that was the last pack, and that was a massive 50 packs from the Panini 2022 sticker collection. So your 50 packs, which if you'd have bought them in the shops would have cost you around about just over £40, I think it was, because these work out at 85p a pack, I believe it is. That is how many stickers, I'm just putting them all together, that is how many stickers you would get for your 40-ish pounds. But I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. It was a much longer format video. It's probably one of the biggest pack opening videos I've done of individual packs that haven't been in a box on the channel so far. But if you did enjoy it, give it a thumbs up so that I know, and comment down below if you want to see more bigger format videos that are longer, where I just talk random nonsense. Or alternatively, if you didn't want to hear the stories like that, comment down below and I will take on board that feedback and try and improve the videos going forward. I appreciate all forms of feedback. I like to hear what people want, what people don't want, etc, etc. But if you want to see more pack opening videos, not just football, all sorts of collections, other sports, TV, games, etc, we do pack opening videos for all different types of card sticker collections, and we do new videos every single day. So there'll be a new pack opening video every day at around about 3:30 in the afternoon. But other than that, thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, it helps me out massively. And as always, thank you ever so much for watching. I hope to see you next time.